Hello everybody and welcome to today's reading. Today's reading is a future spouse reading. Now I want to find out your future spouse's favourite things about you and what your favourite things will be about your future spouse. I want to separate this reading up into the favourite things emotionally, energetically and physically, and if you want to find out the juicy details about your future spouse and what you both favour about each other, I need you to pick one of these piles. I highly recommend that you go for your first gut instinct. Spirit is going to guide you towards a pile which has the most relevant information for you. Do not be disheartened if none of the piles are speaking to you. Do not be disheartened if you've chosen the wrong pile to begin with. We all have those days where our minds are in overload and our connection to spirit is a little bit disconnected. So if you need to do the human thing and explore the piles, or go online and find a random number picker, I welcome you to do that. And once you've decided your method of pile picking, I will see you in your reading. Hello there, pile number one, welcome to your reading. Let's find out what your favourite things are going to be about your future spouse and what your future spouse's favourite things are going to be about you. Now, I have pulled a card for the overall energy of the reading and I really feel like this card represents what your union is going to be about. Okay, so the kind of energy around your union, the purpose around your union. And for you guys, we got share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution and expression. So I do feel like you may both find that you have both had a lot of persecution through life. Maybe you've both been shushed a lot through life. Maybe that's by parents, friends not really taking you too seriously, people at work not really taking you too seriously. And I do feel like your union, when you come together, you're going to see how powerful and impactful their voice is, realise that they've been through the same thing as you, and that being shushed doesn't necessarily mean that your voice isn't valid. It's more the fact that people are threatened by your voice, and vice versa with them to you. You're going to see the power in each other's expression and realise that your expression has always been your power, not your weakness. I really do feel like when you come together, you're going to go for more opportunities. You're going to go for your dreams, they're going to go for their dreams. Now, your dreams could be pursuing a career which involves your expression, your creativity even. It could also be the fact that you guys may already be in careers that you're both very proud of and you both want to stay in, but potentially this union between you both gives you both the confidence to go for more, gives you the confidence to speak up. You know, I need a pay rise. I want to progress in this company. And maybe separately, you've struggled to do that. You've struggled to express how you honestly feel. You've struggled to feel like you can go for more because you've always been taught one way or another that you should just stay quiet. I actually want to say that you've both been very emotionally suppressed. And it could also be this: you've never been allowed to express when you're not okay about something, let alone when you're just not okay. And I think the similarities you both have when it comes to this lack of ability to express yourselves emotionally will slowly open you both up emotionally. Now, what I'm seeing here are two people coming together who aren't comfortable with their emotions. And the relationship goes well, but the issues keep building up for both of you individually. To the point where you both emotionally blow. And you both realise, wow, I have a whole ocean of emotion living within me. The ocean of emotion. Rhymes. So it's like you both live your lives quite practically, somewhat even like dryly. I mean, when there's no emotion, it's dry. And dry isn't a criticism. I'm extremely dry. Like, dry humour is great. Do you know what I mean? Nothing wrong with dry, but two people come together very dry. That dry humour, you may have a dry humour, and you'll probably find that your future spouse will also share that dry humour. Very practical when it comes to emotions. A couple who are always busy or occupied, whether that's together or whether that's separately. And because subconsciously you both have this emotional connection, you're going to push each other to the point where the dams have to burst. Now, they could meet somebody else and you could meet somebody else, and they're never going to push you both to that point of dam bursting. Dam bursting. Like it's some kind of sport. But this is the purpose why you both come together. To burst those dams once and for all. To express yourselves freely, and naturally, you're going to start expressing yourselves more honestly. And whilst putting a lot of things right within your own relationship with this person, when these dams burst, it's going to make you both put a load of things right with the other people in life that you're really strongly connected to. You may even have people around you who ask too much of you. And you don't realise that emotionally it's draining you, but because you're not connected to those emotions and you feel like everything has a purpose, everything's for a purpose, or I'm obligated to do these things, you're going to realise when those dams burst, oh wait there, I'm not obligated to do half of the things that I'm doing right now. And I really feel like that is the purpose of your union with your future spouse. Okay, so let's go into your favourite things about your future spouse. Now, emotionally, your favourite things emotionally about your future spouse. To begin with. Okay. So we had the Two of Cups in reverse for this, and when I pre-pulled this card, I was like, why? Why are we in reverse here with the Two of Cups? And Spirit said, we're going to begin with the Two of Cups in reverse, and then we want you to flip it upright, okay? So what I feel here, again, it's that lack of emotional expression. Your person, you're going to love and favour the fact that your person isn't overly emotional when you first meet them. They're somebody who very practically knows what they want, where they stand in this world. And I think because of this practicality, they're going to be very vocal about why they want to be with you. And I think this very practical expression of why they want to be with you is a language that you understand, and it helps you trust that this person really wants to be with you. Bear with me here, I'm getting a lot of impressions today, and I'm hoping that when I'm verbalising it's making sense. You may have had experiences in the past with overly emotional people, overly emotional partners. I even want to say, and this doesn't have to resonate for you because this could well just be an example so you understand what I'm trying to say, but being with somebody who's, I'm in love with you, oh my God, you're everything to me. And then that person, sorry that was weird, I'm like, how long these lashes are. And then that person cheating on you, and you've been like, you've been telling me that you're in love with me, and that person's like, well, I didn't realise that I was in love with somebody more than you. Do you know what I mean? I cheated on you because I love them. And it's like, how fickle do you have to be with your emotions? And I think you actually may have, and I really do feel like this could resonate with you, I feel like you may have a type of outlook on life where people don't understand the difference between love and lust. And a lot of people make big, bold life moves through lust, thinking it's love, and they kind of mess everything up. And I want to say your future spouse is going to enter your life and you're not going to see this fickleness within them. You're going to see that practicality. So when you say to them, why do you love me? They're not just going, oh, I just love you because of the feeling. They're saying, I love you because of this, 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 and this. And you're like, I like that. I like that expression of love because it makes sense. Because a lot of the time love doesn't make sense. Now, what you are going to find is, yes, they do have this practical side with the Two of Cups in reverse. This also means that there's somebody who makes decisions on their own terms as well. So they don't tell you what you want to hear. They tell you it how it is. Just like potentially previous partners, or this could just be an example. They don't tell you they love you because you want to hear it and then they go and cheat. Like, this is the kind of person who, one, isn't going to cheat because they're not fickle, but they're also the type of person that if they did think about doing anything dodge, they practically know that they're not supposed to be with you, and you love that. They would practically know that they need to have some kind of conversation with you because they're looking elsewhere. I'm looking elsewhere, so this must mean that we're lacking something in this connection. Is this something that we could fix, or is this a done deal? And I'm not saying that that is part of your future. I'm saying that that's this person's kind of attitude, and you really favour that. Now, when those dams burst, because those dams are going to burst, you're going to see the side of them where they can show that devotion, where you know practically you're the only person that they want to be with, and then when those dams burst, there's still that level of singularity when it comes to their love only coming to you. You just receive that added extra of emotion and devotion. Emotion and devotion. A lot of rhyming words. But this also makes me think that you guys are going to be so similar because you rhyme. Does that make sense? I also want to say you're going to love how this person is willing to merge with you, is willing to cooperate with you. They have like a level of harshness when it comes to their emotions because, as I said, they've got that practicality attached to it. But it's like they're always willing to compromise on a practical level with you. Okay, so what do you energetically favour about your future spouse? Okay, so we have gratitude here. Count your blessings, thanking the universe and angels for the blessings in your life. Now, your person is real, okay? Making me think of J-Lo. I'm real, what you get is what you see. And I love that about this person. Your future spouse is real. And that's why you can trust in them. Like, you can actually trust in your future spouse. You can trust in them when it comes to this relationship, but you can also trust in them when it comes to them taking care of SHIT. I want to say your future spouse has a lot of power when it comes to their aura. There's somebody who's not afraid to take control, and they never overstep their power as well, okay? So they never, that power never turns into toxicity. I actually feel like your future spouse may have grown up with dependents around them, so maybe very young siblings, or maybe they've had to be dependent on like a grandparent when they were come to the end of their life. I just feel like your future spouse had to step up at some point and kind of take care of SHIT at a time where it wasn't really their job to do that, but they had no choice but to step up. And I do think this could be something that has kind of dampened their emotions because they couldn't have their emotions involved because they practically had to be on point. I really do feel your future spouse having very like daddy energy. I'm not saying you're looking for a daddy, but they've got daddy energy. This is somebody that you'd feel very comfortable having children with, and you trust to have children with this person because you know that they would be around, they would stick around, and they would be a brilliant influence for your children. Now, no matter how hard life gets for your future spouse, they always look to the positive. They're always looking to the blessings. They're always giving gratitude for the things they have, even though there's times in their life where they lack. I mean, life ain't perfect. But this person isn't the kind of person to dwell in the crap. They're the kind of person to deal with the crap whilst focusing on the positives. And that's exactly the same with this relationship. And I want to say that fickle energy comes in again. And the fickle energy that this person does not have, by the way, but it's like when there's challenge in your relationship, this person doesn't just go to the club and decides to get their, get their fingers in someone else's pants. We're sticking with it. They don't decide to try and get emotional validation from other people. They stay in the SHIT and they work on it. So if you guys are having any confrontation, any issues, this person isn't the type of person to just walk out the door. This person's the type of person to walk out the door if you ask them to walk out the door. Please get out of my house. This is too overwhelming. Come back tomorrow and we'll talk. This person's going to do that for you because they're always going to do what's right or what they practically think is most right in the moment. But this isn't the kind of person to run away from a challenge. This isn't the kind of person that if you're screaming in their face, and I honestly don't think you would. I don't think that's your style, but if the worst of the worst is if you're screaming in someone's face, they're not the kind of person, oh, do you know what, F you, I'm going to the club, I'm going to go and get some attention elsewhere. No, they're going to stay and they're going to work. They're going to sort it out. And even if something, it's like they know, they're very aware of how work creates, what are we saying here? What are we saying? I'm getting work and opportunity, but I'm not too sure of the full sentence of what Spirit is saying here. Work creates opportunities? Work creates opportunities? Does that make sense to you? It may make sense to me while I'm doing the processing, when I edit this before I put it up. Work creates opportunities. We're going to stick with that, okay, because that's what Spirit said. And I think that if you pose any hard work for this person, they're just going to see an opportunity for that. They have a natural knack to create light from darkness. Look, they can handle the heat energetically. And you favour that. Let's have a look physically. What do you favour about them physically? Oh, okay. So I want to say this person actually has like a very, I want to say like a bit of a dad bod. Now my face just went like that. It doesn't mean that I'm dad bod. I think there is a misconception around the dad bod. People think the dad bod means that you are slightly overweight. Now when I think of dad bod, I think of protection. That's the way that I see the dad bod. And if I look at a body that exudes protection, I see broad shoulders. I see big arms, the kind of arms that can give you a really strong hug where you think nothing in the world can get me when I'm in these arms. And this is what I see when I consider dad bod. Not what you see in Hello magazine of like, oh, Leonardo DiCaprio and his new dad bod and he's got like a big beer belly hanging out and stuff like that. I don't know whether that actually happened, but I'm just trying to use an example. I don't read Hello magazine. That's not what I consider a dad bod. I even feel like your future spouse has a very big, broad chest. Again, they just exude power, gladiator kind of energy. This is the person who can make you feel comfortable in the home and out the home. And I think I've said this in a previous reading, but I had an ex who I used to literally think, if I was sleeping in a bus stop with this person and they had their arm around me, I'd feel safe. And there's not many people, I mean, there's not many people I'd sleep in a bus stop with. Let's put it that way. But that's this person's energy. It doesn't matter whether your whole life crumbles to pieces, you're still going to feel protected and supported with this person. And I think physically you find them so attractive that you just want to bang, 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 bang them all day and all night. And I do actually think you're going to create some kiddie winks with this person. I even want to say that you either don't want kids or you don't know whether you want kids. I honestly think poll number one, very strongly, you're the type of people to be like, maybe in the future, but not right now. And if you already have kids, you may be the type of person to say, I am not having any more kids. I know I'm definitely like that. And I'm quite dry, naturally. And I've had a child, and I'm just like, no more, no thank you. I've got psychics telling me there's going to be another one, it's going to be a little girl. I swear they're trying to sell it to me. She's going to be a little girl, you know, haven't you always wanted a girl? And I'm like, no, I don't care. Like, it ain't happening. But I do feel this energy with you guys. Don't want kids, or maybe in the future, but really not thinking about it right now. This person, I'm sorry to say, is going to change your mind. They're either going to actually change your mind and you are going to actually try for children with this person, or they're going to do a little something something. Here's a bit more personal stuff, which happened with my ex, father of my child, where I did not want kids. Like, I was like, no, not having them. I became pregnant. It was so fated, it's unreal, okay? But because that person that I was with was that protector, was literally like everything was in place for that child. Everything was in place for that child. We had everything we needed. There was no way I wasn't going to have that child. And a big part of it as well was my son's father. The genes were wonderful, beautiful. There's nobody else I would have procreated with. And I feel like you're going to have that with your future spouse. There is nobody else I could procreate with on this earth, but I want to procreate with this person because it feels so right and our energies merge so well. Suddenly, I want to do this. What else do you favour physically about your future spouse? I'm even going to pull from like the SE actual bowls to see what kind of like SE actual pull you have towards them as well. Soulmate. Okay, so you guys are soulmates. You're going to feel it so strongly. Okay, I may pull a few more physicalities from the bowl for this because soulmate isn't physical. Body, I did say body. They're going to have the type of body that makes you feel protected. I really want to say with you guys, it's not gonna so much be a case of tongue out, dribbling, SE actual attraction. And don't get me wrong, you are going to physically find them attractive, but it's not going to be that desperate type of attraction with you guys. It's going to be that natural, energetic attraction. Like, no matter what, you just cannot keep your hands off each other because of a magnetic pull, not because of some kind of physical desperation. And we've also got, I told you, I love you. And I did want to say with that, it's going to be making love with you guys. You guys are going to be making love. And even when you're trying to get a little bit down and dirty and experimental, you're not going to help it. It's always going to end in that deep eye contact, love making. Just is. Let's pull a few more for the physical. They don't want to give me much for the physical for this one. Confident. The eyes as well. They're going to have very trustworthy eyes, I feel here. What's this one wanting to poke out? And tattoos. This person may have some very prominent tattoos, and something you're going to favour are the tattoos. I think it's just going to, okay, I'm hearing it's going to enhance their manliness. Now, if you're interested in women, I want to say that these tattoos are going to enhance, I'm going to say it even more, they're broad, like a broadness. It's going to give them a broadness. Okay, so if you're watching this and you're interested in women, where their tattoos are, it's going to give them a broadness, and it's going to give them a broadness in an area of the body which you find attractive. A broadness in an area of the body which you like broadness, okay? So it could be like a hip thing, but you're somebody who naturally likes really wide hips, okay? I want to say it just accentuates the part of the body that's broad, and you love that. And if this is a man that you're interested in, where they have their tattoos, again, accentuates that broadness, and it really makes them very manly. Okay, makes them look very manly. And you love that. Okay. So that is your favourite things about your future spouse. I've got to say, I'm getting really tongue-tied with this. Your favourite things about your future spouse, okay? And now we're going to go on to your future spouse's favourite things about you. I've had to write it down here because I keep getting tongue-tied. When I was doing the intro, I was saying it the wrong way round. Then I was like, oh, my sentence is making sense. Crazy. Okay, so what are your future spouse's favourite things about you emotionally? Can you see that? Another cup upside down. And this is what really kind of like blew my mind with this pile when I was pulling the cards, because I had them with the 2 of cups in reverse and had you with the Ace of Cups in reverse. And I was like, because I'll be real with you, when I pre-pulled and I got 2 of Cups in reverse, I was like verbally saying, Spirit, why in reverse? Is it supposed to be in reverse? And I looked at the rest of the deck and there were no other cards in reverse, or at least I couldn't see any other cards in reverse, because there would have been, because this was in reverse, right? I was like, nah, this is upright. So I actually put it upright. And then your one came out in reverse and I was like, oh, okay, there's something to this with the cups in reverse. So I was like, okay, right, we'll do the reversals and we'll decipher them in reverse. So you've got the Ace of Cups in reverse. And I feel like, again, your future spouse favours the fact that you're not overly emotional. But there's a word I'm trying to think of here. Spirit just said stupidly emotional. I ain't using that word. Because emotions aren't stupid, they're valid. It's like when there's an issue, again, you like to understand it before you blow. You're not the kind of person to just be like, you did what? Ah! Like, you're not like that. And that's what this person really likes about you. You're also not the kind of person to go on 3 dates with them and start crying and telling them how much you love them, okay? You hold back that emotion really well. And again, I think at first, your future spouse is going to really favour that in you at the beginning, okay? Because it will change, the dams are going to burst, and we are going to have the Ace of Cups upright for you, okay? But they really favour that about you. Your emotional stability. Now, I don't know whether you've got a moon in Taurus. Okay, you may have a moon in Taurus. I actually want to say your future spouse may be a Taurus. Okay, Taurus rising, Taurus sun. Maybe they share a moon in Taurus. I also sense Taurus Venus here. So I think one of you may have a Taurus Venus as well. But I do also sense a lot of Cancerian energy here alongside this Taurus energy. And I think your Cancerian energy, maybe you've got Chiron in Cancer. Okay, or maybe your person's got Chiron in Cancer. Because there's something about your Cancerian energy, or energies, if you both share this, that it's in a difficult placement in your chart, which means it's there, but it's very hard to access. I even want to say, if you understand interceptions in astrology, when you look at the Placidus chart, you may have signs that are intercepted. That means it's a sign that's eaten up by a house system, okay? So that sign does not rule a house, right? If you don't know what that means, Google it. Okay, but that's the best way I can explain that. So you may actually have a moon in an intercepted sign. I understand interception so much. I have a sun and a Mercury in an intercepted sign. And for a lot of my life, I didn't have any clue who I was. I thought I had no identity because my sun was intercepted in Aries and my Mercury. And I do have issues with communication. I do struggle to communicate, but I'm getting better. I'm getting better. So there could be an intercepted moon there as well. But as I said, your future spouse is going to favour this about you because you're not like the other women, okay, or the other people, if this is, you know, a same-sex relationship. I want to say that you very maturely communicate your past to this person as well, which makes me think that you may have a little bit of a past. I'm picking up on a few little bits, and maybe a bit of a wild child. Okay, this is what I'm sensing with you guys, a bit of a wild child, and you're you're okay to communicate your, I want to say, mistakes maturely. And again, I actually feel like your future spouse gets a little bit of a kick from your more wild days. I think they're very thankful that you're not as wild now and you're like, you've stabilised. I think they really enjoy hearing your stories. And I think they really enjoy hearing your transition from wild child to stable adult. I hope this makes sense. I feel a little bit like Tyler's Tarot. I don't know whether any of you guys watch Tyler's Tarot, and he's like, I don't know if this is making sense. I'm not tapped in today. I'm sorry, guys. And I'm always sitting there going, no, you're on point. It's confusing because I'm going through something really confusing right now. And I feel like that's me today. And it's just like, I don't know whether any of this is making sense. Should I just give up? No, I'm gonna keep on going. Now, when the dams burst, what they're going to love is the fact that you actually, underneath all of that stability and all of that like practical understanding and like a practical organisation of your emotions and things like that, you have like a real childlike innocence in there. Childlike, beautiful childlike emotion. Childlike, beautiful childlike emotion. You have beautiful childlike emotion that lives within. And this is something that your future spouse is really going to favour once you have both burst those dams. Now, energetically, doing a lot of dice work today, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm rolling the dice constantly. I love the dice. So energetically, again, I'm really picking up on this wild child phase. And I want to say, you have so much awareness and so much depth because of this phase that you've been in. And I even want to say you've built a lot of your life upon the lessons that you've learned in those days. And energetically, there's like you trust them, but energetically they trust you because you're so open and practical about the experiences you've had, whether they be good or bad. It's like a take me as I am kind of energy. I'm going to show you me at my best, and I'm going to talk about me at my worst, and you can choose whether to take that or not. Because you express yourself so practically, again, it's that level of trust where this person knows that you're not going to cheat. Because you may have discussed a time in your life where you did cheat and how it felt for you, why you did it and why you'd never do it again or never need to do it again. But that's the way that you organise your thoughts and your emotions and express them in a way where your person knows your depth, knows your value, knows that you know your value. And as I said, they get that kick knowing that there's that little wild person that lives within you. But there's no need for you to express that wild child within the relationship for them to get that kick. Okay? Because there are people out there who get kicks from being with somebody who's a bit naughty. I say that through visually seeing it with other people in relationships that have been around me over the years. I've seen it in a relationship that I was once in. And that's not necessary here. What does it mean? Why would somebody want you to be wild within a relationship? What does that mean psychologically from their viewpoint? I don't know, I'll have to ponder over that after this reading, but that's not necessary here because you guys don't have unresolved toxicity living within you. The only thing that you both have unresolved is that at some point in both of your lives, you have been told to shut off those emotions. You've been told that you cannot express your emotions for some reason or another. So instead of expressing the emotions and just letting off all the steam. You guys have both done the same thing. You've taken yourselves away, you've practically organised the emotions in your head. Why do I feel this way? Well, here's the practical reasons why I feel this way. So you both have an emotional understanding that not many people do. And your person can sense this in your aura because there's like a take me as I am energy there, a natural beauty because you're honest. You're honest about everything. But they can also feel like the strength in your aura as well. The strength in the understanding and knowing of who you are. So let's have a look and see what your future spouse's favourite things about you physically are. See what I mean when I say that? I don't know whether that makes sense. What are your future spouse's favourite physical things about you? Well, you most certainly are a perfectionist when it comes to your appearance. I want to say that you're the kind of person that the eyeliner is perfect. You may be very good at makeup if you are somebody who wears makeup. Like kind of MUA kind of standard. But even if it's just like a natural makeup look that you wear, there's like an element of perfection to it. I really sense really good teeth. Either they're extremely straight or they have like a very, I actually hear some of you people asking whether your teeth are porcelain. Okay, I just heard that. Someone said like, your teeth real? Are your teeth porcelain? Whatever. I want to say that you're also somebody who your physical attraction is noticed publicly. You are somebody who gets a lot of attention publicly. If you go to a bar, you are going to have people buying you drinks, you are going to have people giving you their number. And if you don't, I want to say that you probably intimidate those people. Now, because your person, your future spouse, has that level of trust in you, they understand that you don't get taken over by a pretty face. It's like someone could be like the best looking person in the world, but if they don't have the substance, they ain't the one for you. So instead of your person, your future spouse, being paranoid that, oh my God, part number one gets all this attention, someone's going to take them away from me, that they don't have that type of paranoia with you because they trust you. So instead they get the pride that you are so desirable with the comfort of knowing that you are theirs. And they love that. They love having you on their arm because they're a powerful person naturally, but you add to their personal power. Let's see what else. I do think there's a past life connection between you both. And I want to say that sounds a little bit cliche because I think the person that you marry, you're more than likely to have had some kind of past life connection to them, but I think there's a very strong one here that you guys are probably very aware of. You know, when you first meet, you're probably going to be like, I feel like I've met you somewhere before. Have we met before? Have you ever been a customer at my work? You know, questions like that. Have you ever asked for my number in a bar? Have we ever been to the same gym? You know, that kind of energy. Okay. Weird. I pulled, what? Guys, I literally just pulled from this bowl and I pulled a few from the 𝒔𝒑 actual bowl for 𝒔𝒑 actual things. But the three things I pulled out of the 𝒔𝒑 actual bowl are physical things that should have been in this bowl. So I've got nothing 𝒔𝒑 actual here. Now, I don't think that means that your person doesn't find you 𝒔𝒑 actually attractive, but I think this means that this person really respects you. And again, it's that this person is, pile number one is a goddess. Pile number one is someone I want to make love to. They're not somebody I just want to, I don't know what this is. They're not somebody I just want to pull hair and just, okay? Now, there's some physical things here, and there's also just some generic things, okay? Because in the physical bowl, I've put all sorts of stuff in there. It started out as like the physical appearance bowl. Now it's got a few little added extras in there. But what they do love is your connection to spirit, your natural spirituality, your natural depth, okay? And that also correlates with this card that I pulled for you as well, spiritual support, okay? You're very spiritually protected also. That's also something I want to say. I want to say that you're somebody who also speaks to your ancestors or gets messages from your ancestors. Okay, so this person really likes your lips, okay? They favour your lips. Whenever I pull lips, I do think it is the fact that they physically like your lips. It's something that's like, they look at your lips and they get instantly turned on, but I also feel like they really admire your expression. They really like the stuff that comes out of your lips. They like to hang on your every word. Blonde. Now, I don't know whether you are a blonde or whether you're somebody who either wears like blonde wigs now and then, or you dye your hair blonde in the summer or get blonde highlights. I want to say that your future spouse is going to like it when you have blonde in your hair, or when you wear your hair blonde. Back. Okay, they really like your back. And I know that sounds like a weird one, and I've had this conversation with a couple of exes actually. I had one ex who said that they really liked my back, and I was like, okay. And then my most recent ex, we've had conversations where they've said, I know this sounds weird, but I really like your back. And I'm like, oh, it's not the first time I've heard that, you know. And there's something about your back. I want to say there's like an element of elegance when it comes to your back that this person really likes. And healing. You're super healing. Now, when I picked up spiritual, it was the number 11. Okay, we have the number 11 on there, and with healing, we've got 11, 11. Okay, so we've got all the ones here. Your relationship is going to be so healing and so beneficial for each other, and I just want to say, you're gonna break that cycle of feeling like you can't emotionally express. And I do want to say that there may be a point in your connection where things feel tough, and where you feel like you may want to give up, or you may think that, oh, I thought this person was for me, and turns out they're not. No. That is the point where the dams are going to burst. That is the point where you're both going to experience that deep, deep healing. You guys work together even though you're holding back those emotions. So think how utterly beautiful the connection is going to be when you let those emotions flow. This connection has the potential to be very special. And it has the potential that if you guys do the healing work, it's going to be everything you've ever dreamed of. Okay, pole number 1. I'm going to leave that there. I really hope this helped in some way. This reading went on for way longer than I expected. So if you are still here at the end of this reading, I want to give you the biggest thank you. I want to ask you to please drop me a like, and if you feel comfortable to do so, comment down below. Let me know which par you claimed. Let me know if you resonate with anything I've mentioned in this reading. Let me know if you're excited to meet your future spouse, okay? Let me know if you've already met this person as well, because I kept saying in this reading, your person, and then I kept correcting myself and saying future spouse, which makes me think some of you may already be with this person, okay? But yeah, pile number 1, thank you so much for being here. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I shall see you next time. Goodbye. Hello, pile number 2, welcome to your reading. Let's have a look and see what your favourite things are going to be about your future spouse, and what your future spouse's favourite things are going to be about you. So to begin with, I want to touch up upon the card that you chose, the overall energy for this reading, and we've got the crumbling, what are you clinging onto? Now, what I gained from the energy coming off this card for this reading was there's a bit of polarizing energy going on between you and your future spouse. I think you both cling on very tightly to something, or a outlook on life, but you're both opposing each other because they're too far one way, you're too far one way, and what you're going to do is you're going to balance each other out. It's like I'm really sensing with your future spouse, they could be very strong in their cardinal energy. And if you're unaware what cardinal energy is, it's kind of start up onto the next one kind of energy. Okay, I'm very cardinal by nature. I've got a lot of cardinal energy in my chart. My chart is literally like 90% cardinal or something ridiculous like that. And I have this very great ability to start something new. I'm not afraid to burn things to the ground, start something new, but when it comes to actually following things through, that's where I struggle. And I do feel like potentially your future spouse could have very strong cardinal energy, so that is Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, okay, because it's the start of the seasons. Aries, beginning of the year, the real beginning of the year, beginning of spring, Cancer, beginning of summer, Libra, beginning of autumn, and Capricorn, beginning of winter. Okay, so that's cardinal energy. And I feel like you could be very deep or very heavy in fixed energy. So you stick to things. Again, not a bad thing, but you may stick to things that aren't necessarily serving you. And that fixed energy is, I believe it's mid-season. Fixed energy is mid-season. So you've got Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So you might want to check your chart for those signs, and you may find that you're very heavy in those signs. But I think there's going to be a lot of lessons learned between you both. They're to take a little bit of what you've got, you're to take a little bit of what they've got, and you meet in the middle and you balance. And you both become balanced in the process. I just looked at this card and we've got the two sides of the tower, but in the middle we've got this beautiful, lush greenery, flowery, whoop! I've just lost the card. In the middle of the card we had those beautiful flowers. And that's the beauty that's found within balance. That's the beauty that can be found when you meet in the middle. Okay, so let's go into your favourite things about your future spouse, or what your favourite things will be about your future spouse. And we're going to start with emotionally, okay? So your favourite things about your future spouse emotionally. I feel like your future spouse is going to be somebody who is very well trained in a certain skill. For some of you, and it's not going to resonate for all of you, but some of you it's going to be something sport-wise. I really sense sports. It's like a natural innate talent they have, and they've trained, and they've become a master at something. And if it's not sport, this could be a degree or a master's degree, or they're very good in their field. Yet they've got this element about them where if they're not gaining everything, if they're not gaining what they expect in a certain arena or area in their life, they will shift. For instance, if it is sport, they're the kind of person to, I feel football here, okay, because maybe I'm feeling football because there's a great example for this, but it may be going well with a certain team, but they're not afraid to change teams if they get a better offer, where you, on the other hand, would go, I would have stayed with that team. I mean, there's prospects with the team that you're with, but your person is, they don't mind shifting. They're like, trust me, I've got a gut instinct, I've got a good feeling about this other team, I'm shifting. And if your person is in sports and it's not football, it could literally be, I'm changing sponsors. And you may be like, why? Like, the sponsorships that you have already suffice. And they're like, I think there's more. But this also could be companies. But you're very well renowned with this particular company, but your person's like, I feel a change on the horizon, I'm going to go and do it. Okay, and I think you really respect that about this person. You favour it because I think it's really influential for you. Their strength and their belief in themselves that there is better out there. And also their belief in themselves that they deserve better. It makes you really see a lot of value in this person. They're very competitive. And I think maybe in their childhood they were well known for being rebellious. Maybe getting in a lot of scuffles, arguments. I want to say you may also see remnants of this in their adulthood, because maybe they stand their ground when it comes to their family. Maybe you'd want them to calm it down a bit. Do you need to have that argument with your family over the Christmas dinner table? And they're very much like, I need to stand my ground. They need to respect my decisions. They need to take me as I am. I won't be controlled. I can just hear things like that coming out of your future spouse's mouth. And yeah, you're going to think like it's a little bit irritating, but deep down, It's a bit like when if you have children, if you don't have children, you may have younger siblings or you may be around children for some reason. But when a child does something naughty, you kind of have that kind of look on your face, that kind of sniggering look on your face, so you're like, that was bad, but I respect your strength. And I respect your independence in that moment. And that's very much the kind of energy you have around your future spouse. It's like, a bit naughty, but I kind of respect that. Now, when it comes to what you favour about them energetically, they did have quite a few cards for this. The peace and harmony, the divine physician, and honour your beauty. Now, I think your person really does honour themselves, honours their value. And I think that's why this person isn't afraid to make these bold moves and take these risks, because they have such a strong sense of self-belief and knowing in how valuable they are, that they know that they're going to make it work wherever they go, and they've always got something to bring to the table. And with the divine physician here, thank you, Raphael, for shining your divine light upon my healthy body. Again, it's giving me that sportsmanship. Now, if this person doesn't do a career that's involved within sports or health or anything along those lines, again, it's like your person has a strong sense of value, that they not only value everything external to them, realise their value input with everything external to them, they also realise how valuable they are as a physical being, and they treat themselves with care. They treat themselves with the respect. They don't treat themselves with disrespect and demand the respect from everyone outside of them. They treat themselves with respect, so they demand the respect from everyone outside of them, if that makes sense. And when they're causing all of this so-called chaos by making big life moves and taking risks and standing up for themselves, what they're actually doing is creating peace and harmony around them, because they know how disharmonious their life would be if they just kept shut and didn't express themselves and didn't fight for what's right for themselves. Now, I think you really favour these things energetically in them, because not only does this person fight for what's right for them, when you meet them, they start fighting for what's right for you too. And again, I feel that energy of you being like, this is a bit irritating, but at the same time, you start seeing results. And it really helps you see the beauty in their way of life. I really think that this person will push you to see the value within yourself and then express that value outwardly. So much Saturnian energy with this person that I want to say that this person may have a lot of Capricorn in their chart. I also want to say some Aries as well. This person is very well respected for the way that they live their life, so they built like an aura of respect around them. I feel like your person has a green aura, which does represent stability, which may be crazy to think because they make those risky moves in life, but all they're doing is searching for their stability. Green also represents growth and abundance. Like, your person really gets a kick out of growing. They make the moves because they can't stay still for too long, because they're going to go stale. They want to just keep expanding. But that also helps you expand. I want to say they give you the courage to further your expansion. And even if you are somebody who does naturally go for opportunities and expand, I want to say this person's going to come into your life, your future spouse, and they're going to say, don't go that far, go that far. I'll support you. And you'll feel more comfortable to go that far because of the support that they show. Let's have a look at what you're going to favour physically about your future spouse. Now I'm going to pick some stuffs from the physical appearance bowl here, but I do also want to touch up on the SE actual bowl as well, just to give like an extra air of kind of attraction, you know, see what comes out. We always just see what comes out, don't we? Okay. Baby face. Your person may have very cute features. They may be somebody who looks younger than they are, and that is something that you really admire in this person. I actually do see your future spouse being somebody with very clear skin. I mean, that is the main thing that I'm seeing here. Very smooth, shiny, clear skin, and you find that very physically attractive about them. Giving, and I want to say your future spouse is very giving with their energy and their time. It's like they're so independent when it comes to like their career, but once you're on their team, again, it's that sportsman kind of energy I'm picking up here again. They can work alone. They can be very, what's the word? Ruthless when they're working on their own. But when you join their team, they extend that energy to you. And it's like they've literally got you under their arm, and they're like, we're in this together now. You don't do this. We're in this together now. I've got you. Wherever I go, baby, you go. That's what I'm getting from that. 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 as they are. I actually see somebody who's not exactly broad, like they're not broad, very nicely shaped, but they're not exactly broad. They have like those wider shoulders and that like more like thinner torso, I want to say. I feel like a real V with this person. A lot of definition. I actually want to say that this person isn't naturally big, but they work out to make themselves look bigger. So I think what you may actually find with this person is they get bigger and then they may get smaller. They'll get bigger and they'll get smaller. So their appearance will change from time to time, but no matter what size they are, whether they're like a size small or whether they go up to a size large when they're like working out and bulking, they still always have this like really defined bone structure. They have this definition that's to die for. I actually see the sunlight shining on their body and it just accentuating all of their definition, and you just being like, I want to jump on it. Like, that's what I see. Okay. And It's Only You came out of the SE actual bowl, which isn't very SE-axy. Well, it is. Knowing It's Only You, that they're SE-axing is extremely sexy. We've got It's Only You. It's like you favour how utterly gorgeous they are, but you have that like real deep desire for them because it's all yours. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one there. Yeah, I don't think there's any more to say on that. Okay, let's move on to your future spouse's favourite things about you. And this is where your fixed energy is coming in. The Hierophant, for what they emotionally favour about you. And the Hierophant, sorry, I've just dropped something. Oh, look at that. I'm wearing a strappy top and some shorts with bears on. So that's what I wear under the desk. Got a burp. This is where the control comes in, the Hierophant. The Hierophant is control. It's control, it's belief systems, it's influence. You may have a religious background, a very strong religious background that you follow. If you don't, you may follow You may follow a religion or a movement now, or you may be very strong in like your spiritual practice, whatever that may be. But I also feel like you're somebody who's like, there's rules and there's ways you do things. That's what I just heard. There's rules and there's ways that you do things. It's making me giggle for some reason. Maybe a couple of you will resonate with that and you'll giggle when I say that. Emotionally, you're very controlled as well. This person likes it. This person likes that you are devoted. Everything that you put your energy into, you are devoted to on a very deep level. And I think your future spouse has seen the benefits that have came from your dedication as well. I want to say that you're somebody who is very emotionally developed. Somebody who always knows the right thing to say no matter what somebody is going through. I think at the beginning of your relationship with your future spouse, you shocked them a lot with how understanding you were when it came to their psychology, how developmental you were when it came to their woundings, when it came to their bad habits. And I think they really respect that emotional intelligence that you have. I also want to say that you're not somebody who's afraid to express your deepest emotions. I'm actually sensing a connection between expressing your deep emotions and sex with you both. I don't know whether this is something that you have done in the past with previous partners, because it's just the way that you are and you may resonate with this, or whether it's something you're going to do with your future spouse. But those moments when you talk deep on the level with your future spouse, it ends up in very explosive sexual encounters. That's the message I'm getting. You just undress them. They're completely bare with you, and because they're bare and they don't have to hold, I think you disarm them from their ego. I think that's what it is. You disarm them from their ego. And when they're disarmed from their ego, they're not just FCUKing you, they're able to fully kind of put their all into you sexually. And I know we're on emotionally and we're not on physically yet. We're on the emotional part of the reading, not on the physical part of the reading yet, but I think that's what I'm being told here. That's the kind of impression I'm being given. And they love this about you emotionally. I think they're very trusting with you when it comes to their emotions as well. They can tell you anything and everything. And I think it takes a massive weight off their mind and their shoulders, having somebody in their life that they can do that with. Okay. So, what are your future spouse's favourite things about you energetically? We've got transformation. Thank you, 𝒍𝒂𝒈, for supporting me to transform my past challenges. Are you Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising? Scorpio is one of the fixed signs. We've rolled Pluto here as well. Taurus and Scorpio is what I'm getting here. On that axis, Taurus and Scorpio. I think you just exude power energetically. It's like emotional power. I think they consider themselves the physical power and you're the emotional power. And I think they feel that when you come together, a bit like this Cancer symbol here that I've rolled, see the 69? I think they feel when you guys come together, you create the ultimate power couple. Now you're a quiet power. Well, they're a very physical power. Look at me, I do sport. Or look at me, you know, I do a very active hobby that makes me big and strong. Look at me, my body is defined. While you are that emotional power, and I think you can definitely see it in your eyes. Something about your eyes, they're very knowing and they're like x-ray vision eyes. And I think this is another thing that gets your person hot. I do actually think that this is a very 𝒔𝒆 connection. This is the kind of connection that when you guys become very close, okay, when you become, you know, close to the point where this proposal is on the cards, you guys are going to be at it round the clock. Okay, I just sense it. Now, I feel like your energy, are you big on social media? Are you well known in the community? I feel like energetically you're somebody who draws in a lot of people who want to 𝒔𝒆 you. It's like, what many people don't realise is that Scorpio energy, Scorpio, it doesn't matter whether you do have heavy Scorpio in your chart watching this, but I do sense Scorpio could be one of the signs for you guys. Scorpio and Cancer and Taurus. So I've just added Cancer in there now all of a sudden, but I feel Cancer here as well. Scorpio is a sign that rules the womb. The womb is purifying. We as feminines who have periods, we have monthly periods because we absorb energy. And we have those monthly periods to release that energy that we've absorbed. As women, we are natural healers because we are natural absorbers. There are better ways that I can explain this. Masculine energy is outward moving energy. Feminine energy is inwards, okay? So we absorb. When we are in relationships with people, as a feminine, we absorb, for instance, the person that we are in a relationship with's energy, their toxicity, and release that toxicity in our monthly cycle. And that is why when we have had a month where we have been under a lot of strain and stress and pressure, our periods will be heavier, they will be more painful because we have more that we need to release. Now, what a lot of people don't realise is that 𝒔𝒆 with the feminine is also purifying because the masculine is trying to access that womb. So 𝒔𝒆 is an act of healing. Now, I think because your energy, and I've sensed so much feminine energy with you, so even if you are masculine watching this, I sense this like really strong feminine kind of goddess energy coming from you. A lot of people want to 𝒔𝒆 you because they are drawn to you because they want that healing. They want you to absorb their crap. Now, your future spouse doesn't realise this. Your future spouse doesn't understand the deeper meaning of 𝒔𝒆 with the feminine. So your future spouse loves the fact that energetically you have this energy that people want to 𝒔𝒄. And they love it. But also, beyond the 𝒔𝒆ual attraction that you have, the 𝒔𝒆ual magnetism that you have, I just feel like your energy is so nurturing to everyone around you. Without making this sound unsexy, because clearly you're extremely 𝒔𝒆y, I want to say you're the mother that this person never had. And that doesn't mean that your future spouse never had a mother, but I feel that you're exactly what they would have wanted in a mother. They may express that, they may not. But they're devoted to you like a child would be to a mother. Let's move on to physically. What do they favour physically about you? The same things come up again about the fact that everyone wants to 𝒔𝒄 you. You get so much attention when it comes to your 𝒔𝒆ual magnetism. They have so much pride in the fact that you are hotter than hell. Hotter than hell, isn't that a song? Hot as hell. I've had to snip this in because I ended the reading and I looked down at the dice for your physical appearance and I saw something extra. So if this seems a little bit disjointed in the reading, it's because I've just jumped back in to say this. But I really want to say as well, your future spouse physically likes the fact that you look different. Now, don't be offended by me saying that you look different. Some people think that is the biggest compliment. If someone says to me, you look different, I'm like, I want to look different. That's the whole point. But some people don't want to look different, but I want to say that you look different. You stand out in the crowd, but I want to say you do it in a very natural way. You just naturally stand out in the crowd. I think it's something about that physical appearance. It may be something about like your bone structure. Now, this thing that makes you stand out from the crowd could be something like plastic surgery that makes you look a little bit different from the norm, or it could be a particular feature that you naturally have that is maybe bigger, or maybe just a little bit different from the norm. Either way, your future spouse really appreciates the fact that there's like a uniqueness to your physical appearance. There's not many people that look like you. This also could be you deciding to not conform to trends and things like that. Like you stick to a style that suits you rather than just blending into the crowd. Like, your future spouse is somebody who likes to have someone on their arm who's noticed, because your future spouse likes to be noticed. And I mean, I've had an ex who said that they don't like to be with people who get noticed. They don't like to choose a girlfriend who's noticed by other people. So yeah, your future spouse loves the way that you stand out because you help them stand out more. Okay, let's get some stuff from the bowls. Getting social media here again. Maybe you're very, maybe your social media is like a little bit fiery. Maybe you can't help but look sexy on your socials. Like, it doesn't matter. I think I've said this in a previous reading, like, it doesn't matter what you wear. Like, you could literally be wearing like a polo neck and like you're covered from head to toe and people are still like, looking hot, looking sexy, and you're just like, I wasn't even trying to be sexy. Like, what the hell? I just spat everywhere then. Ugh. So I actually see your future spouse. I actually see your future spouse being away from home, or you being away from home, and then going to your socials to have a little play. I say what I see. I say what I see. Let's pull some stuff from the SE Actual bowl, because there's got to be some SE Actual stuff coming up for you guys, okay? Because your future spouse thinks that you are, oh, so exquisite. Okay, so physically, this is the physical appearance bowl. They're not all physical appearances in there. I'll be real with you. I decided to put other things in there. So some are physical appearance, some are just like generic phrases, words, whatever. It still counts, okay? We're still using them. Earth Angel, your energy is so healing to be around. You always know the right thing to say. I just feel like I'm just repeating what I said in the energetic section of your reading. But Earth Angel, that's a clarification of what I said in the previous part of the reading. Baby face, you just don't know, no. I swear that came up in the last reading. Baby face, they love your baby face. You may have very cute features. Again, I'm looking at this. This is like a little bit of like it's like a defined baby face here. Like when I look at the man on this card, he's defined, but he's got very like baby-like features as well. Baby face. They think you're cute. They think your face is cute. But I want to say, by looking at baby face and then looking at the picture on this card, I think you might have very cute little features, but with definition as well. Whether that be defined cheekbones, whether that be like a defined nose, a nose with a lot of definition, a nose that doesn't need contouring. Oh, don't we all want one of those? So I actually think it's a mixture of baby face and definition. Now, when I think of baby face features, I think about Gemini rising, so there may be some Gemini in your big three. And exciting and adventurous. And I think this manifests physically in you, and what they favour about you physically, because I think when they look at you, they just get very excited. Down below, okay. Oh dear. Out of the SEX bar, we've got, I'm sorry it ended so soon. Now, I know what this means. This person finds you so physically attractive that they don't last that long with you, if you get what I'm saying. And that is what it is. They don't last that long with you. And we've got first date here. I really feel that your future spouse knew that you were the person for them on that first date. And they may even express that to you. Okay, part number 2. I'm going to leave that there. I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you did, please drop it a like. If you resonated to any parts of this reading, maybe you resonate with some of the things I said about you, maybe you have already met this person and you have came here to clarify whether the person that you're with is going to be your future spouse, comment down below if you feel comfortable to do so. Let me know what you resonated with. And if you do like content like this, please subscribe, because I want to make more content like this for you. And part number 2. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much, and I shall see you in the next reading. Goodbye. Hello, 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 pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's have a look and see what your favourite things about your future spouse is going to be, and what your future spouse's favourite things are going to be about you. So you chose this card, the Sisterhood of the Rose. And this is your overall energy for the reading, the kind of energy around your union with your future spouse. And what I gain from this is, I really gain meeting this person and being in union with this person gives you a deeper understanding around love and around the meaning of life. I know that sounds super deep, doesn't it? But that's where we've gone with this. When I think about the rose, okay, the rose is the occult symbolism for secrets, okay? Secrets don't have to be negative. Secrets can be finding out really positive secrets. The secret of life, for instance. So I really do feel like it's uncovering a lot of secrets around love for you. I don't know whether you grew up in a family where love was a little bit tainted. Potentially your parents had separated, or you could have grown up in a household where your parents stayed together but the love was kind of lost. Maybe they were together for very practical reasons, and this was your idea of love. Maybe you've experienced a lot of heartache, or you have watched a lot of heartache in love. And I think it's somewhat made you shut off from love in your adulthood. Yes, you still get the urge to want to fall in love, you still get the urge to be in partnerships with people, but you don't really see it, you don't really know the meaning of why we do it, if you know what I mean. Or how is the best way to phrase this? Again, I'm getting the impressions. I say again because on the other piles I'm saying I'm getting impressions and I'm really struggling to communicate them. Love is just something we do. I don't really understand why I need to do it. Okay, that's the best way I can describe what I'm receiving right now. It's like the kind of energy, like you always hold a little bit of love back, no matter what partnership you get into. And I'm doing this, and as I look down at the card, can you see the lady in the middle doing the same thing? Can you see that? Are we focused? Can you see that? I think you can see that. I think you can. My eyesight's not very good. So when I pull things towards the camera, I don't know whether I'm in focus or not. I have a big screen just here, that's why I always look down there. Got a big screen down here, and my eyesight is so bad I can't even properly see myself on the screen. I just have it there to like see whether I'm still in shot and see whether the camera is still recording. I'd be lost without it. But I feel like this is something that potentially you and your future spouse have both been through at some point in your lives. This being in love but not fully being in love, there we go. Being in love but not fully being in love. Not really understanding the reason for it. Now, I can somewhat resonate with this energy because when I started reading tarot, I did like the sign readings. I did that for a short while. I found it really difficult when it came to the love section of the reading, the love sections of the reading. When it came to career and like the general reading itself, fine. But when it came to love, I would really struggle to communicate. I was so shut off from love, okay? Let's put it, listen to me now. Listen to me now, tripping over my words, not knowing how to explain myself because of this weird relationship I had with love. When it came to the love sections of the readings, I really found it hard to read because the way that I read is I feel energies and I create a vision and a storyline from those energies from my perception, okay? So I will receive your energy, but the way that I replay it back to you will be from my perception. So when it came to doing the love section of the reading, because I wasn't living a life of love, I found it very difficult to perceive love. And I went to a psychic, and the psychic said to me, you are going to find your success, or one of your successes, through doing love readings. Love is your forte. And I was like, you've got to be effing joking, haven't you? I don't know the next thing about love. And then I started doing pick a card readings. And then people favoured the love readings. So I continued to do the love readings, and now I love doing the love readings. And ever since I've started doing the love readings, my love life, as messy as it has been recently, has developed deeper and deeper understanding of what love is, what love truly is, what devotion truly is. Love isn't just looking at someone over a crowded room, coming together and making love for the rest of your life, having kids and being happy because your personalities just mesh and everything works. It's two people coming together who want to work as a team, who want to heal each other to be the best versions of themselves they can be. And during this back and this forth, and these mistakes that we make, and this level of understanding that we give when these mistakes are made, we kind of hash out the most toxic parts of each other. And we end up as these pure souls with so much respect and devotion for one another that love that you've created is untouchable. And the level of work that goes into love is dependent on the souls themselves. Dependent on the soul group you come from. Do you come from a soul group that has had many, many lifetimes, that has worked through a ton of karma? Well, then maybe you don't have as much work to do when it comes to love. But you may come from a soul group where the karma is rife. There's just karma left, right and centre, and you will have more work to do when it comes to meeting your future spouse, meeting your future partner. Because there's more karma there. There's more karma between you both. And believe me, when you meet your future spouse, oh my God, I don't know the actual statistics, but I'm going to say 99.9% of the time they are part of your soul group. They hold the same karma that you do. And whatever lessons you need to learn in this lifetime, it's on their itinerary too. And with this, I feel like you and your future spouse are going to come together, and what you're going to teach each other is the real reason for love. What love truly is. And I really want to say with this group as well, don't look online and think, why do they get to be happy and have met their soulmate and I'm not? Because I want to say that you're going to get that. You're going to get that energy with your person. It's just going to take a little bit longer, but if you put in that work and that devotion, you work through these life lessons that you and your person have, You're going to be there one day in the near future. They're in a different soul group. They're living out different karma. You will get exactly what you want, because I watched A Shaw and it was Left Eye saying that if you can see it here, it already exists. And I want to say that for you. If you have a romanticized movie that plays in your head when you think about your future spouse or the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, if it exists here, it already exists. Your future spouse is going to want the same as you. I think this group number 3, you're going to be a little bit like me, where you're somewhat closed off to love, or you're holding a part of yourself back in partnerships. But through the lessons, you're going to become a bit of a master when it comes to love. It's your strength. And you've been running away from your strength because we're fearful of the most powerful aspects of ourselves. Deep down, you can love so deeply, but that's scary. Because you have the ability to give all of yourself away. Your future spouse is going to be the person that you learn to feel comfortable enough to give it all to. Well, they're going to do the same with you. They're going to go on the same journey. Okay, let's move on. Your favourite things about your future spouse emotionally. Okay, we're going to begin with emotionally. Okay. I just feel with your future spouse, they're very calm. I feel that they have an element of, don't worry, things will work themselves out. I don't know whether they've got a Jupiter in Sagittarius or whether they have some strong Sagittarius energy in their chart. But there's this optimism and lightness to their energy. I believe they're actually quite lucky as well. I'm sensing luck here, and this is something you really like about them. Things just seem to work out for this person. But at the same time they bring you a sense of calm. You have a little bit more practicality in your energy, where you're like, we have to work things out. Things aren't just going to work themselves out. And they're on the other end of the spectrum where they're like, it's okay. Like, what will be, que sera, what will be, que sera kind of energy. I think their emotional belief, and I want to also call it like a spiritual belief that everything's going to be okay, is something that you really admire, and it somewhat acts like a tranquilizer for you. Now, energetically, what you favour about them energetically, it is the same thing. It's this calming energy that everything is going to work out and be okay. So much Sagittarius energy here. This person has got to be like a Sagittarius sun, moon, rising, Jupiter. I do want to say that this person energetically guides you in life as well. They bring you enlightenment, spiritual enlightenment. They may even enhance your spiritual journey in some way. I mean, you watching this now clearly have an interest in the beyond, the paranormal, the spiritual, and all of those things. But there may not be very many people around you who share those interests. There may not be many people you can call or talk to when you have like a crazy synchronicity, or when a tarot reading resonates to you like to a T. Your future spouse is someone who's going to get everything that you are. But I really want to say that their spiritual practice has a lot more kind of airy-fairiness to it. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just the way that I say it because I'm an Aries Mercury and I'm blunt, and airy fairiness is nice because it's light, it's airy, it's calming as well. It's a spiritual practice that's calming. And I think that's how they may open you up to that more airy fairy side of spirituality. And I resonate with that too, because I'm in the deep dark depths of spirituality and spiritual development, doing tarot. I'm in the deep dark, recycling the darkness into the light kind of depths. And this may be where you're at. You're in the trenches of spirituality, and as exhilarating as it can be, finding hope and power from the darkness, you're not yet experiencing the light that can come from spirituality as well. And I think you're going to love this about your future spouse. The fact that their energy is like a tranquilizer. I feel like I've stayed on that subject for ages. I'm sorry guys, I hope I've not bored you, and I hope you're still here. Now let's see what your favourite physical things about your future spouse is going to be. I've just got to pause the camera here because it's about to go off. I have it goes off on its own after a certain time, so just bear with me guys. Okay. Physically. Now, your future spouse, I want to say sorry, that was a little burp there. I want to say they're very experimental in the bedroom. I actually want to say they really show you off as well. In a very intimate way, like they're very free. They're not, I want to say they're not afraid to snog your face off in public. They're not afraid to express. They could be a Leo Venus, but they're not afraid to raise you up. They're not afraid to express even like sexual stuff about you in public. They're not afraid to express their deep desires for you. And I know that's not a physical thing, because I just paused it thinking that's not a physical thing, but I'm really picking that up. But I think in turn, this makes you see them in a very 𝒔𝒊𝒆𝒄𝒂𝒄 light as well. It's like an air of, it's so polarizing here guys, and this is why I'm struggling, but I can see that I want to say they're very attractive, but very attractive and out there, but with an element of like coyness. So I don't know whether they're extremely attractive, but they look really cute. Or they're really cute, but there's something about them that has depth. Like they've got really cute features, but really prominent eyes. What is this? I know this is going to sound bizarre, but I want to say that you guys have spent a past life together. You may have even tried this in the past life, and for some reason it's failed, and you've got to do it again in this lifetime, and you can't fail this time, guys. Like, no, it's not part of the curriculum. But I want to say, you're going to recognise them from a past life, from the way that they look now, because they looked very similar in their past life as they do now. I know that's vague, I know that's a weird thing to say, but it's like they've came back in a very, very similar body to what they were in the past life. I want to say they've got noticeable hair, either very big hair or very, like a very weird colour. Weird colour, I shouldn't say weird, should I? A distinctive colour, a colour that isn't like very normal. That sounds like it's a bad thing, but for instance, I've got a next door neighbour with a son. I met the son, and he has like the lightest blonde hair I've ever seen, and he's a child. He's not dyeing that hair. But if he was an adult, I would say, oh, he dyes his hair. No, that's natural. I've never seen anything like it. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, but I've never seen anything like it. And that could be something that you notice about your future spouse's appearance. And if it's not a distinctive hair colour, it could just be very noticeable hair. I even want to say it could be dreads. I know some of you are probably like, I don't want someone with dreads, like that's not my type. It could be, for some of you, it could be dreads. It could just be a lot of hair, it could be very curly hair, okay? Something about the hair. But they've got like, it's so bizarre, flashy with an element of, I want to say they're very handsome. And I don't know why I'm going to masculine here, very, very handsome. They have like a little bit of like a quirky goth energy to them. I'm sorry guys, that is the best way I can decipher this message. I'm picking up on the person, I can feel their energy. It's like if they didn't have that element of like coy kind of goth, they'd just look like a movie star. But they're like a movie star with this kind of, like, this kind of like, hey, look at me, but don't look at me for too long. Like, it's the best way I can describe it. I'm so sorry, guys. Maybe they wear a lot of black. Okay, let's go into what I just pulled out of the bowls. Blonde. They could be blonde, okay? And you will favour the fact that they are blonde. Blonde with a lot of hair, which blonde hair is normally thinner. So it may be very distinctive because this is really thick blonde hair. Or they may actually have streaks in their hair, which makes it distinctive, like highlights of blonde in their hair. Giving and lips. So I want to say giving and lips. They're very giving when it comes to where they put their lips on you. But giving, again, I think it's like giving affection. They're not afraid to give that affection publicly to you. And lips. They've got very nice lips. Look out for those lips, very plump lips. Again, I'm really sensing like this movie star kind of appearance to them, but like with this element of secrecy and sensuality. Okay, let's move on to what your future spouse's favourite things about you are. And for you, we've got the Lovers. So emotionally, definitely a past life connection here. You're definitely rerunning this life again. Or this attempt to be together, to be married in this lifetime again. This person can sense the love that you're holding back. And look, the Lovers card is doing the same thing I did at the start of the reading, holding back. And it's doing the same thing with their hands in these two cards, look. She's doing the same, the angel is doing the same with her hands as this lady in this card here. Okay, so we've got that holding back again, and I feel that your future spouse can sense that you have got so much love to give and that you have the ability to give it all. They can sense this because they are, you know, they are spiritually developed. They're on that lighter side of their spirituality. I think they've got like psychic abilities as well, you know. But they can feel that. They can feel that it's like you're an onion. When they peel off one layer, there's another layer, then there's another layer, and your love just gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. You may not realise how much love you have to give, but your person does. And they love that. And there's a good chance that your person knows that you have all that love to give because they remember it from a past life. I think you show your love in acts of kindness rather than verbalising it. I think you feel more comfortable to do it, to express it with acts of kindness. And they love that about you. I really feel like instantly, pretty instantly, your future spouse knows that they want to have a family with you and a marriage. I think you tickle them in a way where they're thinking, I've never wanted to have kids, but I want to have kids with this person. And it's because they see what you don't see. And you may think, oh, I wouldn't be a great parent. You know, I'm struggling to love myself at the moment. But they see what you don't see. They see the amount of love that you're holding within. And they're going to do everything in their power to free you from this. They want you to do this. Let all the love flow out. Now, energetically, what they favour about you is your ability to speak your truth here. So let's do the dice roll. I think you're very feisty. Oh, see, this is where you guys connect. We've got Sagittarius energy when it comes to your energy here. And this is where you guys connect. I feel like you are very devoted to your spirituality. Yet I don't think you've had the freedom to relax in it, if that makes sense. You're more feisty than your future spouse. You're a warrior goddess. You bring practicality to the table when it comes to this connection. You create order. I feel like your future spouse has all these theories, but they've got no solidity and validity to any of them. And you come in and you tell your future spouse how it is, and you ground your future spouse. And I feel like your future spouse, this is a thing, right? When I said about their energy being really light and airy, you love that. You favour that. But there was like a level of irritation there because they're just flouncy-wouncing up here. And then when it comes to your energy, they love the grounding energy that you have. It feels good to them because it's something they're craving, because it's something that they don't possess themselves. Yet again, on their side, it's a little bit like, it's scary for them to come down. It's scary for them to ground. But what you're both actually doing is, because naturally as souls, you are both that Sagittarius, expansive, spiritual kind of energy. You both have that desire to achieve, to expand, to feel the best of everything that life has to give. Go for gold when it comes to career. Go for gold when it comes to spirituality. Go for gold when it comes to your happiness. And what you both do is you come together and you balance each other out energetically. They bring the light to your spiritual practice and you bring the grounding to their spiritual practice. Okay, now let's move on to physically. What your future spouse physically favours about you. Well, you are clearly extremely attractive. Now I want to say, you may be a redhead. You may be a redhead, strawberry blonde maybe, or you may really suit auburn coloured hair, okay? Again, this could be, you may get highlights, red highlights, you may dye your hair red, you may wear red or like auburn wigs, okay? Doesn't mean you have to have that hair colour naturally, or you may just really favour that colour. I mean, I'm choking. I love auburn when I dye my hair auburn. I do not do it now because I just don't feel like my hair can take the dye. But when I do, I think it really, really suits me, okay? But I actually think you're very physically strong. Getting like Amazonian kind of energy here, very physically strong looking. I want to say for some of you, you may be taller. I also want to say, like, very, you look younger than you are. You've always been told that you look younger than you are. I actually think you may dye your hair frequently or change your appearance frequently. They really like that. They like the diversity when it comes to your appearance. Does that make sense? The diversity, the way that you change, you chop and change, you keep them on their toes, you keep them excited because you're always changing something about yourself. I think they really like the way that you can merge with trends. They love that about you. You've got so much structure. I know that's not really about physical appearance, but I'm just picking that up again. You're very structured. And they might kind of take the P out of that at times, but they actually deep down really admire it. And it's like one of their favourite things about you. Okay. Show off, flex. Now, your future spouse clearly enjoys showing you off. I did mention that they will show how sexually attracted they are to you in public. They won't be shy about that, but they love showing you off. But I also think, like, you're that kind of person that fits in any crowd. I want to say, whenever you walk in a room, you're the person that everyone's talking about. Because you either look a certain way and you catch people's eyes and they're like, I want to look like pile number 3. Or I wish I had the body that could like pull off those clothes, or I wish I had the face that could look good with that hair colour, okay? Because we all see people and go, oh God, I wish I could wear my hair like that, but it just wouldn't suit me. I just don't feel good enough to wear my hair like that. Like, you're the kind of person that people look at in that way. But I also want to say, it's your style. You know, it really is your style. I think a lot of people look at you and go, oh wow, I wonder where she got that top from. I wonder where she got that dress from. I wonder where she got those shoes from. You're like an influencer. I don't know whether you are a bit of an influencer. A bit of an influencer. I don't know whether you are an influencer. Even whether you influence people in your place of work. You're the person who comes in wearing all the styles that everyone wants. The styles that everyone wants. A trendsetter. Right, okay, move on. Blonde. Blonde keeps coming out. I did say redhead. Okay, I did say that you change your hair colour frequently. Maybe you are naturally auburn. Maybe you are naturally ginger or a redhead and you do dye your hair blonde. Or they like it. I'm actually seeing there's a lot of redheads out here, actually. Do you even dye your hair pink at times? I just feel like you change your hair colour a lot. I'm really sensing that they like auburn with blonde streaks as well, okay? Walk, strut. They find your confidence really physically attractive. The way you hold yourself. I did say you're very structured, but if we look at that physically, we are looking at somebody who's got a very good posture, okay? They've got good bone structure. And they find your free spirit very physically attractive here. Okay. And again, I want to say that free spirit is more along the lines of you wear what you want. You wear your hair how you want. Sorry about that pause. I'm pulling out of the sexual bowl for what they find physically attractive about you. We've got public shows of affection. And I did say they will be very forthright with public shows of affection towards you. And this is something that they really enjoy doing. Turns them on. I think it turns them on for many reasons. Turns them on because you are a very attractive person. And they're like, look at my attractive person. This person's mine. But also, your person may like being watched when it comes to that kind of thing, okay? this may become apparent because they may ask you to watch them do their own thing, if you know what I mean. Okay, right, part number 3. I'm going to leave that there. This reading went on for a little bit longer than I expected. So if you've made it to the end, I want to say please drop me a like. And if you do resonate with any part of this reading, okay, maybe you resonate with your section of the reading, maybe you have already met this person, you wanted some confirmation to see whether this person is going to be your future spouse, then please comment down below, let me know your story, okay? Or if you just want to claim a pile, do that. Or if you just want to say, hey, please drop me a comment. I love hearing from you guys. It doesn't matter what you're saying, okay? I'm there, I'm going to respond. I appreciate every single comment. And don't forget to subscribe if you do like content like this. And part number 3, I appreciate you guys so much. And I shall see you in your next reading. Goodbye.